Manos Hatzidakis was a Greek composer and theorist of Greek music. He was also one of the main movers of the Éntekhno song. In 1960 he received an Academy Award for Best Original Song for his song Never on Sunday from the film of the same name. Biography. Manos Hatzidakis was born on 23 October 1925 in Xanthi, Greece to lawyer Georgios Hatzidakis, who came from the village of Myrthios, is Vasilios in the Éntekhno prefecture in Crete, and Aliki Arvanatidou, who came from Adrianopolis. His musical education began at the age of 14 and consisted of piano lessons from the Armenian pianist Altunian. At the same time, he learned to play the violin and the accordion. After the separation of his parents, Hatzidakis moved permanently to Athens in 1932 with his mother. A few years later, in 1938, his father died in an aircraft accident. This event, in combination with the beginning of World War II, brought the family into a difficult financial situation. The young Hatzidakis earned his livelihood as a docker at the port, an ice seller at the Fix factory, an employee in Megalikonomou's photography shop, and as an assistant nurse at the 401 military hospital. At the same time, he expanded his musical knowledge by studying advanced music theory with Menelaus Palandios, in the period 1940 to 1943. At the same time, he studied philosophy at the University of Athens. However, he never completed this course. During this period, he met and connected with other musicians, writers and intellectuals. Among these were Nikos Gatsos, George Seferis, Odysseas Elatis, Angelos Cyclianos, and the artist Yanis Zarouchis. During the last period of the Axis occupation of Greece, he was an active participant in the Greek resistance through membership of the United Pan-Hellenic Organization of Youth, the youth branch of the major resistance organization EAM, where he met Mikis Theodorakis, with whom he soon developed a strong friendship. His very first work was the tune for the song Paper Moon, from Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire, staged by Carlos Cohn's Art Theatre of Athens, a collaboration which continued for 15 years. His first piano piece, For a Small White Seashell, came out in 1947, and in 1948 he shook the musical establishment by delivering his legendary lecture on Rembetika, the urban folk songs that flourished in Greek cities, mainly Piraeus. After the Asia Minor refugee influx in 1922, and until then had heavy underworld and cannabis use connections and were consequently looked down upon, Hatzidakis focused on the economy of expression, the deep traditional roots and the genuineness of emotion displayed in Rembetika, and exalted the likes of composers like Markos Vamvakaris and Vasilis Sizanis. Putting theory to practice, he adapted classic Rembetika in his 1951 piano work, Six Folk Paintings, which was later also presented as a folk ballet. In 1949 he co-founded the Greek dance theatre company with the choreographer Ralou Manu. At this point he began writing immensely popular pop songs and movie soundtracks alongside more serious works, such as 1954's The C.N.S. Cycle, a song cycle for piano and voice recalling the German Lied in its form, if not in style. In 1955 he wrote the score for Michael Kakoyana's film Stella, with actress Melina Mercouri singing the movie's trademark song Love That Became a Double-Edged Knife. Hatzidakis always maintained that he wrote his serious pieces for himself and his less serious ones to make a living. In 1959, Hatzidakis met Nana Muscari, his first ideal interpreter, a skilled vocalist who shaped the sounds of his music. It was 1960 that brought him international success, as his song "Never on Sunday," from Jules Dassin's film Never on Sunday, won him an Academy Award and became a worldwide hit. In 1962, he produced the musical Street of Dreams and completed his score for Aristophanes' Birds, another art theatre production which caused an uproar over Carolus Cohn's revolutionary direction. The score was also used later by Maurice Bajat's 20th-century ballets. He also wrote the music for a song which Arthur Altman added English lyrics to and gave to Brenda Lee. The song was "All Alone Am I." In 1964 he released the album 15 Vespers with the famous song "Mr. Antonis." In 1965, his LP Gioconda Smile was released on Manos Hatzidakis. In 2004, it was re-released, digitally remastered as an audiophile LP and a CD in the EMI Classics collection. In 1966 he traveled to New York City for the premiere of Ilya Darling, a Broadway musical based on Never on Sunday, which starred Mercury. He did not return to Greece until 1972 due to his opposition to Greece's military dictatorship. In exile, while in the United States, he completed several more major compositions, including Rhythmology for solo piano, his compilation Gioconda Smile, and the song cycle Manos Hatzidakis, in which he used ancient, medieval and modern Greek poems, as well as an excerpt from the Old Testament book Wisdom of Solomon. His LP Reflections with the New York Rock and Amp Roll Ensemble contained several of his most beautiful songs, either in orchestral form or with English lyrics written by the band, a record that preceded fusion trends by several decades. Later years, Hatzidakis returned to Greece in 1972 and recorded Manos Hatzidakis with opera-trained alto Florid Antonaki and singer Dimitris Sarianos. Following the junta's overthrow, he became active in public life and assumed a number of positions in the Athens State Orchestra, the National Opera, and the National Radio. In 1985 he launched his own record company, Serios. In 1988 he helped Foivos Delivorias get started in his singing career. In 1989 he founded and directed the Orchestra of Colors, a small symphonic orchestra. Death. He died on the 15th of June 1994 in Athens at the age of 68, from acute pulmonary edema. In 1999 the city of Athens dedicated Technopolis in his memory. He was buried in Paeania. Musical scores: Adoulotois Sklavoi, Unsubdued Slaves, U.S. title. Kokinos Vrahos. Dyo Cosmi, The Two Worlds. Necropolitia, Dead City, U.S. title. O Grouses, The Grouch, U.S. title. Agni to Limanio, Lily of the Harbor, U.S. title. The Counterfeit Coin Eta Kappa Alpha Lambda Pi Iota Kappa Eta Lambda Iota Rho Alpha, O Drakos, The Ogre of Athens, U.S. title. Never on Sunday, Woe to the Young, The 300 Spartans, America, Top Copy, Gioconda Smile, Ilya Darling, Broadway musical. Blue, Reflections, performed by the New York Rock and Amp Roll Ensemble. The Invincible Six, The Pedestrian, Sweet Movie, Facia Dispia, Memed My Hawk, Reflections, performed by Raining Pleasure, special appearance by Miriam performing the song Kamal, Amorgos.